challenges that women go through on a daily basis.
Okay, bro.
And that
all and more on Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
They say, go with the flow. But what if the flow is wrong? They say that's just how things are. But what if it doesn't have to be? It's time to challenge the narrative. Welcome to I Beg to Differ, the show where opinions are tested, perspectives are flipped, and no idea is above questioning. Everyday issues, politics, culture. If it's trending, we are debating it. Come with your facts, come with your fire. Just don't come with weak arguments. Because on this show, we don't just agree, we dare to say, I beg to differ. Proudly sponsored by Alan Smith Nigeria Limited. They say, go with the flow. But what if the flow is wrong? They say, that's just how things are. But what if it doesn't have to be?
Anywhere you go, anywhere you dey, Kira AI na the smarter way. No network stress, no payment delay, whether you dey traffic or busy all day. No need to type long messages, no need to call and explain. Just speak your transfer. Kira go handle am sharp sharp. Snap the account number, boom, money don send. Talk your payment schedule, done in seconds, my friend. English or Pidgin, easy. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Kira sabi all. So fast, so simple, so secure. One voice command, transfer complete. To download, go to www.sendwithkira.com. Kira AI. Talk, snap, send, done.
Ramadan. Now what's the way to take a God? The day answer prayer as we pay fast. Simple big concept, don't be starting. Another promo.
We call them Team Pumpy Face 30 Lube Ramadan promo. Our Muslim brothers and sisters will be fast for this month of Ramadan. Una wedo. As we begin and well, we could finish and well. That Team Pumpy concept they throw. We salute to the praise. Oh, yeah, now come by your own land for Lube with chicken and money. 3,500 square meter plot of land for Lube. If you want pay stand 15 million naira, you go first pay 5 million naira for deposit. You fit spread them for 6 months, you pay 17 million naira only. All our land they carry on top with correct paper FCDAC of all. Shapali, come with office wedding number 12 Morufia Street. Who sent to Abuja? Tell why you're now 090-5454-5468. T-Pumpy Mistake Lube Ramadan promo. Now who get promo? T-Pumpy concept. Developer that cares.
For the third consecutive day on I Beg to Differ, the third edition, the round of 32, right here on your number one talk news and sports station, 95.1 Nigeria Abuja, where you can trust us to bring this year in, year out. I mean, this is the third, and we have shown consistency, and we want to say thank you also for always listening, giving us your feedback, supporting us in whatever way you can. Well, this year's I Beg to Differ, like we announced when we first started, comes with some little changes here and there, but I'm sure you're enjoying it. We're getting the feedbacks, and we are sure to keep improving. First off, this year's edition is focused on school. So it's school-centric rather than just the individual. But the students, of course, are here ably representing their schools. So yes, that's part of it. And then also for the I Beg to Differ this year, it is brought to you courtesy of some amazing sponsors, part of who are Kira, all right? Send with Kira or Kira AI. Now, just a bit about Kira AI. Kira AI makes sending money as easy as just texting, or just saying the prompt to Kira on WhatsApp. So you are able to send any amount you want to whoever you want to be on the receiving end. So, for example, you say send a so amount to Mr. A or Mr. B, and it happens instantly without any hassles. No apps, no commands. Just send the money with your promptings and with your voice, and that happens with Kira AI. So that's part of our sponsors, and I think they deserve a resounding round of applause. Also, T. Pompey Concept is a progressive property developer. They are part of our sponsors this year. And just a bit about them, we just love to let you know that they pride themselves on their proven track record, their passion and commitment to deliver superior value to their customers in design, quality, and services in their development to their customers. So these one of our sponsors this year, T. Pompey Concept. Thank you so much. We also have Alan Smith Sports Construction Nigeria Limited as part of our sponsors this year. They are into sports facilities. They are into management consultancy, sports equipment, and synthetic grass, and so much more in the big, beautiful world of sports. So we say thank you to Alan Smith as being part of our sponsors this year. Okay, as always, we have judges who are well seated with their ears and all their senses, listening keenly, scrutinizing all that the students will be saying today by way of presenting their points on I Beg to Differ. And may we introduce to you our judges, able judges, in the persons of, number one, Dr. Majid Dahiru, who is a researcher, a columnist, and a tech team lead at Luxterra Foundation. Dr. Majid is ably supported by Irene Bangwell, who is the co-founder of the 100 Naira a Day Knox School in Kuje. Also this year, as part of our judges, we have Daniel Okosun, who is the programs manager of Cool FM Abuja here. Thank you to Daniel. We also call him the big one in here, and he is one of our able judges today. Also, for our diction judge in the person of Mary Olivia Osai, she's a diction coach and a communications trainer. Thank you so much, Olivia, for being here. We acknowledge you and thank you. Without wasting time, we will go right into the business of the day by taking on the schools. Remember, it's a school affair today, and we have Government Science Secondary School Maitama that will be going up against Government Science Secondary School Tungan Maji. I think they also deserve a round of applause. Representing Government Science Secondary School Maitama would be EMMANUEL Michael, who is 14 years old, and he will be ably deputized by Atta Priska Lois, who is equally 14 years old. You're welcome. Good to see you all. We also have from Government Science Secondary School Tungamaje. Am I correct on that?
No.
Oh, all right. Shining Star College. I am so sorry. So I really apologize. That was a mix-up on my side. Government Science Secondary School Maitama is going head up against Shining Star College Kubwa. You're welcome, Shining Star College Kubwa. And the lead debater for Shining Star College today will be MUHAMMED OMOTARA Rahmat, who is 13 years old. You're welcome, MUHAMMED OMOTARA. She'll be ably supported and deputized by Ganiyu Shemilore. Shemilore. Okay, you're welcome. She is equally 13 years old. Ganiyu Shemilore, you're welcome. So, before we start the debate, we love to let you know what the rules of the game is so that you can abide by it, because if you walk with knowledge, it helps you in your presentation and it also boosts your chances. So my colleague here, Somi, is, by the way, Somi, how are you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so we're co-hosting together today, and Somi will be reading out the rules to you. I would urge you to pay attention so that we can get it started right away. Somi?
Okay. Hello, how are you?
Can you please
doesn't sound
answer?
Like you are. Speaking to the mic.
Speak to the mic so we can hear you.
How are you?
Yeah, fine, well.
Very good.
All right.
Okay. Good to have you here. I hope you're ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first thing I want to let you know is breathe, relax. Okay. I know it's almost impossible to completely relax, but we need to be able to hear you and hear your points. You have 3 minutes for all the stages. I'm going to be mentioning them, but for every 3 minutes, you want to make the most of it. Okay, so breathe. If at some point you get caught up in your thoughts or you miss out something, take a deep breath and continue. Don't ever get to the point where you stop and you are just stuck there. Okay, so like I said, 3 stages. There's the opening or presentation round. You have 3 minutes for that. I'm sure your school coordinators and chaperones have told you that even though there is a main speaker, anybody can decide to take it. You're here representing your school, so make sure that the communication between you and your deputy is easy, is smooth, okay? And then you're using your time well. After the presentation, you go to the rebuttal round. Now, for the rules in the rebuttal, make sure that you're listening to all the points, if possible, taking down notes of your opponent's points during the presentation, because that is what you are going to sort of take apart in the rebuttal, okay? If you have anything new to say, it should come after you are done dismantling your opponent's points. So make sure that you're taking note of what they are saying, because that is what will get you your marks in the rebuttal, okay? After that, you have the final 3 minutes, and that is your closing round, where you get to say anything else that you haven't said, emphasize some other points that you feel you need to stress on, and then close out in grand style. Now be sure to enunciate, pronounce your words properly, because the diction judge is going to be here scoring you as well on both your grammar and everything else, okay? So those are the rules. Now, in the event that the bell goes off, your timer, your 3 minutes is up, and you're in the middle of a sentence, complete your sentence. You will not be allowed to start any new points, but you can complete the sentence you were making before the bell went off. Those are the rules. Are we clear?
Yes,
Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I get some fire in the studio?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I need you to show us that you're all pumped up for this, right? Because you need this. We don't need it. You need this because the judges are listening. And if you're being very, very laid back, that might also take away something from you. Who knows? So please try to be lively, be convincing in your points as you present them. Well, just to announce that the topic for today is weak drug regulation is the problem behind self-medication in Nigeria. And in our bid to be transparent, Somi is giving the papers to the students so that they can choose the sides which they are going to take, because naturally they do not come in with the knowledge of that. So the papers have been given to you. Would love for you to tell us what side you are on. What does your paper say, Emmanuel Michael?
I propose the motion.
All right. So, Government Science Secondary School, Maitama, is proposing the motion, while Shining Star College, Kubwa, I presume, is begging to differ, right?
They didn't get their pieces of paper. Let's see if we can make that available for them.
Okay, yes, so that they can just note down. Now, remember, your papers are given to you to take note of what your opponents would be, saying, so that you are able to use that in your reportals. Is that okay? Yes, that's what the paper is given to you for. Just jotting down while your opponent is making their point. All right, so are we ready? Right, now the papers have been handed over to the debaters this afternoon. And so we have an opening presentation, we have a rebuttal, and a closing argument. And so we will go to Government Science Secondary School Maitama, that is proposing the motion that weak drug regulation is the problem behind self-medication. So for your opening presentation, Government Science Secondary School, your time starts now. You have 3 minutes.
In Nigeria, the first doctors many people say isn't in the hospital, is behind the pharmacy counter. When prescribed drugs in Port Harcourt are sold freely in Ibadan, self-medication stops being a choice and become a norm. Weak drug regulation is the answer these dangerous access exists.
With this, I bid a good day to the moderator, esteemed judges, custodian of time, worthy opponent, and my fellow Nigerians. I am Emmanuel Michael, and with me is
Ata Priska Lois,
delegates of the illustrious Government Science Secondary School, Maitama, Abuja, present before you all to stand our ground on the motion. Weak drug regulation is the problem behind self-medication in Nigeria.
Let's advance it. Fake and substandard drugs. Between 2019 and 2024, NAFDAC seized over 20 billion naira worth fake drugs. Poor border control and last inspection means these counterfeit drugs reach Nigerian consumers, promoting self-medication. Strong regulation could stop this. Over-the-counter antibiotics. In Nigeria, 86.5% of antibiotics are bought without prescription, fueling misuse and antibiotic resistance. Pharmacies and patent medicine stores still sell these products because the regulations are weak. If the regulations were strong, this level of over-the-counter access wouldn't exist. Public health consequences. Antibiotics misuse is rising. World Health Organization warns antimicrobial resistance is a growing crisis in Nigeria. This crisis is a direct result of uncontrolled drugs from weak regulation. Moving further, open drug markets. Markets like Idumota in Lagos and Onitsha Bridgehead openly sells these drugs without oversight. Despite which, these markets continue because the laws are poorly enforced. Weak drug regulation allows these drugs to circulate freely without being unchecked. Codeine abuse crisis. In Nigeria, 2017 to 2018, Nigeria faced a national codeine syrup abuse crisis. This crisis revealed how controlled drugs were easily accessible because of weak regulation. Poor monitoring of patent medicine vendors. In Nigeria, most patent medicine vendors often operate with little supervision and often lack formal training. Weak monitoring means most of the drugs sold and bought are without prescription. Weak rural regulation. In rural areas, oversights are almost non-existent. People buy injections and medicines from informal sellers because there are no oversights. Corruption in enforcement. Bribery and political interference undermine drug regulation. Even though the law exists, political interference allows these prescription drugs to flow freely. Thank you.
All right. Are we done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With about 18 minutes left on the time, I'll say you read
18 minutes or 18 seconds.
18 seconds, forgive me.
All right. Great start. Government Science Secondary School Maitama with Emmanuel Michael and Ata Priska Lois, going head up very strongly. We hope that the opponents also come strongly against them. So, Shining Star College is your time to shine, like your name implies. So, your time for opening presentation starts now.
While regulatory challenges exist, they are not the root cause of self-medication. The real drivers are poverty, lack of healthcare access, cultural beliefs and practices, and lack of health education. Good day, Honorable Chairman, distinguished judges, accurate timekeepers, co-debaters, and my ever-listening audience. My name is OMOTARA MUHAMMED from Shining Star College, and we are here to oppose the motion which says weak drug regulation is a problem behind self-medication in Nigeria. With me here is...
Can you show me, Lori?
Drug regulation is the legal framework in which authorities take to prevent these drugs being misused. Self-medication is the taking in of medication without prescription or consultation of a medical professional. Firstly, cultural beliefs and social influence. Most citizens rely on advice from family and friends, previous prescriptions, and previous prescriptions and traditional remedies. If, for instance, someone previously bought an anti-malaria biotics, and they will still repeat the same treatment due to the lack of culture, due to the cultural beliefs and social influence. Poverty and economic hardship. Nigeria faces significant economic challenges. According to the reports from the World Bank, a large percentage of Nigerians live below the poverty line. Most citizens cannot afford cannot afford hospital consultation fees, laboratory tests, or even prescribed drugs.
This is an economic survival strategy, not just a regulatory loophole. You cannot blame a bridge. You can't blame a bridge for having too much traffic because there is no other route. This is the same way you can't blame individuals for indulging in self-medication because they have no other option or choice but to indulge in it because healthcare in Nigeria is quite expensive and families with low income, they may not be able to afford the consultation fees or even laboratory tests. Next is information and media. With social media, online forums, and even online classes, individuals can learn about drugs and treatments. And it is said that most Nigerians follow blogs. They follow blogs and Nigerian WhatsApp groups. Take Aproko Doctor, for example. I believe most Nigerians here know Aproko Doctor, right? Aproko Doctor is a medical practitioner, and he enlightens individuals about the do's and don'ts, preventions, symptoms, and even possible causes of illnesses or to come conditions. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Shining Star College, for equally doing your best today. I hope both sides you get to see the reward of all the hard work you're putting in. We wouldn't waste time. We will be going straight to the rebuttal, and I hope you understand that this is the stage where you begin to poke holes or weaken the arguments that your opponents have put on earlier. So I hope you make use of this opportunity. Your time, Government Science Secondary School, Maitama, starts now.
All protocols duly observed. I remain at our fiscal lawyers. I'm here with
Emmanuel Michael.
From the illustrious Government Secretary to Maitama. My opponents mentioned that many Nigerians live below the poverty line, but I tell you, the Nigerian government are working to this to make sure that all Nigerian citizens live affordably and are able to afford expenses for medical care.
Secondly, my worthy opponent, you mentioned that real drivers of self-medication are poverty and lack of understanding. But I tell you that weak regulation causes healthcare risk. Now, weak regulation of drug imports are poor. Very, very poor. Nigerians today don't believe in real drugs anymore. They believe that all drugs people sell behind the pharmacy counter are fake or counterfeit or substandard.
My opponents I also mentioned that people will not be able to afford medical expenses. But do you know that there's a non-governmental organization such as the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, that are in some hospitals to help pay almost 40% of the hospital payments?
Then, dearest opponent, you also mentioned that cultural beliefs and social influence drive self-medication or something like that. But I tell you that inadequate enforcement drives antibiotic rise and resistance. Don't you think so? Now, let me go further. Inadequate enforcement drives this antibiotic rise because most individuals of Nigerians buy drugs due to viral or undiagnosed illnesses, which may lead to accelerating microbial resistance.
He also said that people stay with local medicine. But do you know that the government are trying their possible best to make sure that all Nigerians, whether the weak or the strong, the old or the poor, try their possible best to get an adequate education under medicine? Do you know that? Do you know that the Nigerian government are trying their possible best to make sure people like you and I go through schools to understand the medicine to understand the studies under medicine? I'm very sure you don't know that. I am trying to make it clear to you that the Nigerian government are trying their possible best. Thank you.
Okay.
Amazing rebuttal
from I'm a bit, because I feel like they're going there and they're still making their points, and then all of a sudden it's like a thank you. So
all right. Yes, I mean the thank you comes all of a sudden, right?
Yes,
you don't see that coming.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I mean, I think it's part of the the effects that we're having this afternoon. Well, Government Science Secondary School, Maitama, has had the chance to make their rebuttals against their opponents, and Shining Star College. Like I always say, it's time for you to shine in your rebuttal as much as you can. Give your best. Your time for rebuttal starts now.
All protocols still duly observed. My name is Gani Ushemilori and I'm here with
OMOTARA, MUHAMMED.
by my opponent. You mentioned that Nigerian governments are working to build hospitals, but still in rural areas, there are not enough hospitals available. And in case of urgencies and emergencies, hospitals are not easily accessible and they have to pay high transportation costs to get to such hospitals. And due to those emergencies, they may have to take matters into their own hands.
Fake criminal substandard drugs. Criminals, even if abuse crisis easily accessibly due to the poor infrastructure, weak rural regulation oversighting 70% individuals affected.
So, statistically, it is said that 70% of individuals pay high out-of-pocket expenses for hospital visits. And also, you mentioned that drugs are easily accessible. Even though these drugs are still easily accessible, the individuals
Yes, I like that. Take a deep breath, gather your thoughts together, and go on.
even though these are still easily accessible, it is still the poor infrastructure that is to be blamed. You say government, as I mentioned earlier, I said that governments are still working towards it, but there are still no hospitals in rural areas, and they are still not easily accessible. And it is said that and criminals of nowadays, they are still sophisticated, and it is not the weak regulation job to be alone, but individuals are also ignorant. Let's say, for example, they are educated and they are giving programs or campaigns to attend. Individuals may still choose to ignore these campaigns. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the bottle and with 30 seconds to spare.
All right, great one. So when you are speaking, please make sure to speak directly to the mic because we don't want to lose your audio because the judges are depending on hearing you very loudly and clearly in order to mark you or to rate you very well or adequately. Is that okay? So we have listened to the opening presentation. We've listened to the rebuttal by both sides, talking about Government Science Secondary School, Maitama, and the Shining Star College, Kubwa. This is the time where you get to close in on your arguments. And remember, before you start, this is the time for you to make a comeback. Just in case you had a weak start or you were not so convincing, it's a time for you to gather your thoughts together and bring in all the points that you must have left out, the things that you didn't say, and anything whatsoever you can do to impress both our judges and our diction judge right here seated. So, my dear Government Science Secondary School, it is time for you to present your closing argument within 3 minutes, and your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us pause and reflect. Imagine a mother in Kano giving her sick child a mixture of drugs she got from the nearest pharmacy because that was all she could access. Picture a young student of Lagos taking antibiotics for a simple fever with no prescription, unknowingly feeding the rise of antimicrobial resistance. Picture an elderly man in a remote village injecting medicines because from informal sellers because there are no oversight. These are not isolated stories. They are daily realities fueled by a system that allows drugs to flow freely without proper care. Weak drug regulation has made self-medication much easier than seeking proper care, and it is costing lives. These consequences are devastating. Lives are being ruined by antibiotic resistance. Communities torn apart by tragedies such as fake and substandard drugs. And families are struggling through crises such as codeine abuse crisis, a silent epidemic born from negligence. As Nelson Mandela once said, health cannot be a question of income. It is a fundamental human right. And yet, in Nigeria, To get a properly regulated medicine is still a privilege, not a right. How can we call ourselves a nation when mothers, students, and the vulnerable gamble with their health because the system has always failed them? We cannot wait for tragedy to force action. Stricter regulation, rigorous inspection, and real enforcement are urgent necessities, not optional policies. Every day in Nigeria, when weak drug regulation persists, is another day Nigeria's lives hangs on the balance. So if we act now, we protect lives, we strengthen our health, and reclaim the trust Nigeria has for medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for excuses is over. The time for action is now. Because life lost during self-medication are lives we could have saved using proper regulation. Thank you.
Okay. We hear you, Ata, Priska, Lois, and Emmanuel Michael on your closing arguments. We hear you. And we thank you for that. We will not waste time. Over to you, Shining Star College, to close your arguments.
And your time starts now.
Large parts of rural areas in Nigeria lack adequate healthcare infrastructure. Data from the World Health Organization, the WHO, shows that doctor-to-patient ratios in many developing countries, including Nigeria, are far below recommended standards. In remote villages, hospitals are far away, doctors are few, and waiting times are long. When access is limited, people rely on pharmacies and informal drug sellers. The problem here is drug accessibility, not necessarily weak drug law.
And according to studies, it says that there are about 4 doctors in 10,000 persons in Nigeria, which is way below the World Health Organization recommendation, which is 23 doctors in 10,000 persons. And Nigeria is not the only country which is facing self-medication. And you say that even if you make regulation stronger, it may reduce self-medication. But evidence says that this is wrong. Even though drug regulation may be weak, even the existence of these drug agencies should make self-medication decrease, right? But that is not the case. This is I'm saying that, and this is not true. Because Nigeria is not the only person which is facing, and not the only country which are facing these problems, and still enforcing, and still making, and blaming the weak regulations. Still, it just brings on, it oversimplifies the chain of the issue. Thank you.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well done to Government Science Secondary School, Maitama, and well done to Shining Star College, Kubwa. Government Science Secondary School, ably represented by Emmanuel Michael, who is 14 years old, and Ata Priska Lois. And they proposed the motion, weak drug regulation is the problem behind self-medication in Nigeria, while Shining Star College begged to differ on the same topic, ably represented by Muhammad OMOTARA Rahmat and Ganiyu Shemilori, both 13 years old. Well, thank you so much for listening. We will be expecting your feedbacks via our live streaming portals.
Yes, indeed. We're streaming live. You want to go to Facebook and YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja on both channels. You can drop your comments there. And it's not just the listeners. I'm sure the parents who are, parents of these children, their schools, their chaperones, go there and show your representatives some love as well. We're on Facebook and we are on YouTube. And while that is coming in, let's get to hear from our diction judge, Mary Olivia Asai.
All right, let's start with Maitama. So, it's fueling and not fueling. You say circulate and not circulate. It is accessible, that word, for both of you, Maitama and Shining Star. That word is accessible and not accessible. The word is rural and not rural. Again, when a word ends with AL, the A takes a weak sound. So you don't say ow, you say oh. So rural, social, medical. All right? You said individuals of Nigeria. I think you should know it's supposed to be citizens of Nigeria, not individuals. It is pause and not pause. Okay, when the S is in between two vowels, it will take the Z sound most likely. So you say pause and not pause. Causes, not causes. And remote village, not remote village. Remote. Said, not said. It is vulnerable and not vulnerable, right? Vulnerable. Okay, shining star, the word is economic and not economic. It is health, not health. It is follow and not follow. You say medical, not medical. So the same rule applies, the AL rule. Visit and not visit. It is individual, not individual. The D takes the J sound. So individual, not individual. You say developing countries and not developing countries. Okay? Informal, same thing, the AL rule. Informal and not informal. Informal, not informal. All right? The stress also. Regulation. The TION, take the shun sound. So you don't say Sean, say shun. Though, not though. TH. Observe your TH sounds, please. Because and not because. Okay? At the end, you said Nigeria are the only country which are. So Nigeria is not the only country, I think, somewhere in your debate. You said Nigeria are the only country. So Nigeria is not the only country which is. And that'll be all.
All right, thank you. Our diction judge, I hope you guys have paid attention. You have noted down your mistakes and will make an effort to correct it just in case you move on to the next level and you're required to.
And even if you don't move on to the next level.
Yes, I mean, in your everyday communications, that's very important. Because this diction also counts in scoring you guys. So that's why we want you to listen. And I was talking about moving to the next. But in your everyday communications, you need to learn and also know how to apply all of that. So yes, our judges are working, and very soon we will have the results handed over to us. But before then, we have to step aside and take some commercials and also take messages from our sponsors this year. It is I Beg to Differ, the third edition, round of 32, right here on 95.1 Nigeria Info. We'll take these messages and we will be right back.
They say that's just how things are, but what if it doesn't have to be? It's time to challenge the narrative. Welcome to I Beg to Differ, the show where opinions are tested, perspectives are flipped, and no idea is above questioning. Everyday issues, politics, culture. If it's trending, we are debating it. Come with your facts, come with your fire. Just don't come with weak arguments, because on this show, we don't just agree, we dare to say, I beg to differ. Proudly sponsored by Alan Smith Nigeria Limited.
Anywhere you go, anywhere you dey, Kira AI na the smarter way. No network stress, no payment delay, whether you dey traffic or busy all day. No need to type long messages, no need to call and explain. Just speak your transfer. Kira go handle am sharp. Snap the account number, boom, money don't send. talk your payment schedule done in seconds, my friend. English or Pidgin, easy. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Kira sabi all. So fast, so simple, so secure. One voice command, transfer complete. To download, go to www.sendwithkira.com. Kira AI. Talk, snap, send, done.
We call them Team Pumpy Face 30 Lube Ramadan promo. Our Muslim brothers and sisters wey dey fast for this month of Ramadan. Una well done. As we begin am wella, we go finish am wella. Na Team Pumpy concept dey throw we salute to the praise. Oh yeah, now come buy your own land for Lube with chicken and money. 3500 square meter plot of land for Lube. If you want pay standard na 15 million naira, you go first pay 5 million naira for deposit. You fit spread that for 6 months, you pay 17 million naira only. All our land they carry on top with correct paper. FCDS your phone. Shapali, come with office where they number 12 Morufia Street. Who sent to Abuja? Then why are now 090-5454-5468. The Pumpy Mistake Lube Ramadan promo. Now who get promo? The Pumpy concept developer that cares.
Welcome back to I Beg to Differ. Yes, indeed. I'm sure you're catching the fire being generated from the studio right into your homes this afternoon. As you support this ones, we would urge you again to go to our social media platforms, YouTube at Nigeria Info, 95.1 Abuja, on Facebook, the same thing. And please leave a comment, share this ones up, and let's know what your feedback generally is on I Beg to Differ. Well, thank you for listening. And any comment? No, we don't have so much comment, right?
Day here saying go for the win. We also have Ayebaton Davidson. Ayebaton, I think, Davidson, 1393, saying well done. Amos Udwak Joshua as well, saying well done. Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Well, it's time to make the announcements for today for the first set of debaters. Elafizi is here. You may present the results to us. All right, the INEC officer, Elafizi, has delivered the results, and it is here clearly for us to see as we make the announcement. So, are you all ready to listen to your results? Okay, yes. Let's start with Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. These are the results or your scores. For your presentation, you scored, that is the opening presentation, you scored 8.5. For your rebuttal, your score was 6.5. For your closing argument, you scored 8. And for your aggregate points on style, you were rated or scored 19 points. For diction, your points scored on this one was 3, giving us a total of 45 points for Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. Congratulations, Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. Let us look at the result of Shining Star College, Kubwa. Now, for your opening presentation, you scored 6.5. For your rebuttal, your score was 4. For your closing argument, you scored 4.5. And for your style, the aggregate score out of 30, you made 12. For diction, you were scored 3. And so your aggregate total is 30 points. gives Government Science Secondary School Maitama the upper hand today. You are the winners. Congratulations to our debaters this afternoon. How does that make you feel? You must feel some type of way, right? Tell me.
Actually, I feel quite relaxed because actually this is my first time debating. So me winning, I already thought they were the winners because my weak point was where I was actually presenting the bottoms. Yeah, so me winning it, at least it has given me an experience on how to go forth for the next round.
Indeed, indeed.
And Shining Star?
Shining Star, do you have anything to say?
Any lessons from this particular round that you've learned?
This is the first experience for me.
Okay.
I've noticed a lot of things.
Speak to the mic.
I've noticed a lot of things, and I believe that if I get another opportunity, I will surely.
Amazing. I love that mindset.
Well done.
It's a learning curve for all of us, right? I always tell all who come into debate that you are all winners. So congratulations to all of you. I'm sure when you get the opportunity next time, you will do so much better. Well, thank you. You may have your leave or take your leave as we welcome the next set of debaters into the studio. We will be right back.